So everyone from what we've seen is in different phases of the journey. There is no right or wrong. It really depends sometimes on, the size of the organization, the focus of the organization, and of course, the investment by the leadership and how much they really want to be, investing in their EHS digital program. They see the value of it, they understand the value of it, and they're ready to move in this direction and get on this journey. So I hope everyone's had time to take this short poll. I will move over to the next slide. So, just staying a little bit on topic, it is important in this day and age, we're seeing there's so much technology being driven in other areas, in finance, in health and safety, in operations. Organizations should also use this opportunity to leverage the right digital technologies and solutions and read about advanced AI and analytics. Understand what can this bring to my organization from an EHS function? How can we embrace these tools? It's essential for sustaining environmental safety and health performance excellence, ensuring a proactive and effective safety culture. Because again, through digital transformation, you remove the human error. It's easier to consolidate data across all of your sites. It's much easier, not even much easier. It actually enables identifying key trends. It enables predictive analysis. It enables you to focus on where you want to be taking your safety programs. So digital transformation really does play a key role in achieving the safety goals and the evolving safety goals year on year. The use of the digital tools, it optimizes health and safety management, and it also supports in enhancing the organizational workflows and the resource efficiency in multiple ways. Of course, as we mentioned, efficient safety action tracking, comprehensive team engagement, and then a streamlined leadership review so that you're speaking, your conversation is targeted, you're focused, and you're able to share the real story with your leadership team. And last but not least, and this brings me to the core of our presentation, which is looking at the proactive safety measures with AI. But before I do that, I want to take just a little step back to look at the challenges of serious injury and fatality prevention. On a positive note, the total recordable incident rate has been declining over the years, and there's been a steep decline year on year. So as we can see here, from 8.5 cases per 100 full-time equivalent workers in 1993 to 2.8 cases per 100 full-time equivalent workers in 2019, it's a significant drop. Similarly, the life-altering injuries and fatalities have declined only slightly over time. And this is really where we want to be focusing, because when you have a life-altering injury and a fatality, this is what defines in a way, the safety culture, or maybe the overall culture of the company. Is it employee first or is it business first? So in 2019, just looking at US data, there were 5,333 fatal workplace injuries that were recorded, and there was a 2% increase over the 2018 count. And this is the largest fatal case count since 2007. At the same time, there were 661 fatal workplace injuries recorded in India in 2019, a 4% increase over the 2018 count. So really overall, the reduction of potential for less serious injuries does not necessarily reduce the potential serious injuries and fatalities. And the causes and correlations for the SIFs are often different for the less serious injuries. The less serious injuries might be, maybe one-off things, but what we'll see eventually is when it comes to serious injury and fatality, there are precursors. There are multiple things that have been happening time and time again that haven't been addressed in the right way that have led to this serious injury or fatality. So overall, reducing the precursors to recordable incidents, and this is the message to take home, does not necessarily reduce precursors to serious injuries and fatalities. So this is going to take me into our next phase of looking at the power of AI advisors and advanced technology in supporting us on this journey of reducing these serious injuries and fatalities. To talk a little bit about just AI adoption, if we look at the past 16 years when, we experienced the introduction of mobile phones, it took 16 years for the mobile phones to reach 100 million users. It took the internet 7 years. It took Facebook, which is, the most popular social media platform, 4.5 years. But if you look at AI and you look at ChatGPT, the uptake was 3 months, which is really mind-blowing when you think about it. And day on day, we're just seeing new things coming out with AI. And really, 2024 is being marked as the tipping point in AI adoption across all of the functions and all of the fields. When we consider AI in EHS and sustainability, what does it enable us to do? It enables a fabulous group of things, starting with assessing and monitoring risk, communicating and performance, especially from the data analysis and prediction standpoint, real-time monitoring. It enables us to operationalize programs and management systems, from an automation and efficiency perspective, scalability and adaptability, employee training and engagement. And then from a design and development for risk mitigation programs and management systems, where this comes in is from the predictive analysis, simulation and modeling, continuous improvement, and then being able to integrate AI with EHS policies. I mean, I think this is life-changing, and it makes a huge difference for not just the EHS professionals, but for the whole organization to really understand, from the ground up, what they have in place, what policies they have in place, what procedures they have in place, what culture they have in place, and to pinpoint specifically where and how they can improve. What we did internally across our subscriber base, we wanted to understand from our EHS community of subscribers, where would you like to see AI help you? And we had 49% come back and say, well, we want what we've defined as task helpers. We want AI to support us in data entry and quality, to help us in filling in the blanks, removing bad language and encouraging good descriptions of incidents, and to help interact with employees to coach and educate them for injury prevention. Our second group, 41%, were interested in how AI patterns or how AI can support in identifying patterns and enhancing insights. So with all of this data that's being collected, how can this data analysis be used? How can AI support to extract insights from large and complex data sets? So looking at analytics patterns maybe that can single out and support with predicting even unplanned events. And then the last group was looking for decision support. So the 10%, they wanted AI recommended action. So how can, we have AI to support us in video image capturing to identify near misses and prevent incidents. So we've considered all of these things, and we have put together our own, we've invested and put together our own solutions in AI and advanced AI models. And this is what I would like to take you through. What I will do is I will switch onto an online demo just so you can see what this looks like. So I will just jump online and okay. So can everyone see my screen for the demo page?
Lara, we are still looking at your slide.
Okay, so what I will do is, let's see how I can share my demo page. Okay, there we go. Right, so you should be able to see it now if you can confirm. Are you able to see the incident and management page?
Yes, yes, you'll be
Yes,
able to see.
great. So this is an example of our incident management page where we've selected our injury illness. Our event type is an injury illness. Event category is safety. We've entered in the details, which is, straightforward, easy to do. But now what we need to do is enter the description and the scope of the event. Okay? What I want you to pay attention to is this line here, describe it AI rating. So this is where we've plugged in our describe it AI. So what I'm going to start doing is entering a description about the event. So an employee suffered an injury when a forklift driving at high speeds. So you can see down here right now, it's prompting me, it's saying, Lara, this is a weak description. You need to give us more information, please. Okay, so down a narrow aisle with forklifts. So as you see, as I type, now it's telling me, if I end it here, extended, it's telling me it's a moderate description. I can still do better. All right, so I'll give it some more. Okay. So you see here, not only is it telling me it's a moderate description, it's encouraging me to keep going, right? So it's assuming that I'm going to write the employee, but what I'm going to say is the forklift slam. Oops. All right. So I can rest at ease now because it's told me that actually I've given a very strong description, which is very positive, good for me. I've entered in the immediate response here. But what I want to show you is actually, I don't want to put an employee. I want to mention the employee's name. So I'm going to say Henry. And you see here, it alerts me. It says possible personally identifiable information present, meaning you shouldn't be including someone's name. Maybe I'm a really frustrated health and safety manager because it's this employee that's had the same incident time and time again. So I'm going to say, please excuse my language. Oh, it didn't pick up on that one. So I'll say, so here it says possible inappropriate language present, right? So that means, nope, Lara, you cannot be frustrated at the employee and use inappropriate language. We keep it as an employee. So now that I have this section filled out, what I want to do is I'm going to jump down. So these are just our event levels that we define, but I will just jump through down to our second AI-enabled section, which is the potential serious injury indicator. So PSI AI Advisor. So what this does is it's actually telling me that based on my description, that yes, this is a potentially serious injury. And what this does is it looks across industry data and it looks at similar incidents across the industries. And that's how it lets me know that actually an injury, this is a potentially serious injury. So this is our example of Describe It AI. What I'm going to do, and I hope you can see the concern reporting tool that I'm showing here. Chandan, can you see it?
Yeah, we are seeing the short form. Concern
Okay,
reporting.
but you're still on the concern reporting screen?
Yeah, right.
Okay, okay, you should. Okay, so here, what I'm going to show you is I have a concern, okay, which I want to fill in. And I'm going to say an employee suffered a first aid injury. But I'm stuck. You can see the Describe It AI rating is it's a very weak response, and actually I could use with some help in writing it. So I'm going to select on the writing help from our Jenny AI, and I'm going to select on writing help. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Support some more. Okay, maybe I don't have access to this. But what's supposed to happen here is that it will give me, it will fill it out for me. It'll write the description for me, and it'll allow me to tweak it. So this is what the writing help will support. Okay, so what I will do from here is I will go back to the presentation. So what I've showed you here is I took you through the Describe It AI, the PSI AI, and now I will talk to you about the Risk AI, which is linked up from it feeds in from the incident and management tool and from the concern reporting tool. And what Risk AI does really is it looks at the overall it looks at the overall real-time risk monitoring and alerting. So basically it looks at your precursors and it looks at your significant occurrences, and it identifies the trends that it's seeing based on what's been entered into your incident management tool, into your concern reporting tool, and it pulls up all that data for you. So it shows you where there's actually the potential for something significant to occur. So I saw just very briefly when I looked into the chat that someone was talking about, if we can shed some light on the predictive analysis. This is all part of the predictive analysis as well, because it allows you to identify the trends from the analytics that it's picking up from the different tools. So here, what it does, so let me just close this. Oops, excuse me. So, sorry, first thing what the AI will do is it will look at all of the records processed into the incident management and concern reporting tools. So what we can see here, we have 4,786 records that have been processed. Then it tells me how many significant occurrences there are. And then it'll share with me, sorry that this is covered by the box and it's
if you can go back a slide, I think, yeah.
This is it, Chandan.
Yeah, and now we can probably move to the next slide.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it'll look at the significant occurrences and then the precursors. So just for a quick overview of what is considered a significant occurrence. So for example, you have you have an uncontrolled you have a fire, you've had multiple fires. These are considered significant incidents. So it'll pick up, for example, on, like, if we look at fire smoke risk here at the bottom, there have been 73 of these significant occurrences. Multiple fires have happened around the warehouse, on our premises. But then if you look here, you have in blue 73. Okay, so what you have, sorry, this is the total number. But what you have here, you have about, let's say, 13 precursors. What are the precursors? What we identify is that actually there were missing fire hydrants all over site that have been reported over time. And this, we can see now, we can, connect the dots that actually we've had missing hydrants, fire hydrants, or maybe fire hydrants that haven't been working. And then this led to the significant occurrence. So the tool, the AI is able to pick up to tie in the significant occurrences with the precursors that have led up to it. So it does three things. It gives a holistic picture by processing the multiple data streams from the different tools that feed into it. It supports in the identification of the precursors and the potentially serious injuries. And it allows the identification of the different risk categories, which we can see here. What the Risk AI does as well, it enables you to visually see this even more through predictive intelligence. So, for example, here it looks at, and here you can select how far back you want to look at this data for it to run, and the business, the sub-organization, and the site. So, if we look here on the right, it tells us that there's been a 71% decrease in the aggregate risk score for the fall from height, which would be this line here, which is very positive. But actually, what we see here, head trauma risk, it's been 83% decreased. Forklift risk, 74% decrease. So it gives you a visual, so you're able to see the performance of these safety risk categories that it has identified for you. Then we have the heat map, where it looks, you can select the look back if it's last 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And here you're able to see on the heat map the weighted risk score versus the number of incidents. And you're able to see which site it is at. So you can also, start asking the right questions. What's the culture like? What programs do we have in place? So it really gives you a full view picture and a story to start talking to. So I've just explained to you Describe It AI, PSI AI. I've taken you through Risk AI. And now I will take you to Ergo assessments. All right. So what the Ergo evaluator done, this is to do with ergonomics assessments, right? So you fill in the data. You have a video that is showing the work that's being done. You're able to add the video into the tool. You add the file, you select it from your computer. And this is the video of the employee hard at work, So it's submitting and it's analyzing this video. And at the same time, it's doing an assessment to look at the risks associated with his actions. And as you can see, overall, he's at medium risk. And what it shows you here is the motion and showing you all of, the movements that he's doing, how he's doing it, right, how he's doing it wrong, which part of the body is being put at risk the most and the least. So it gives you a full, full deep analysis for you to identify the incorrect behavior, for you to be able to see how you want to correct this behavior. Maybe you need to be supporting this employee with additional training, additional tools, maybe PPE to support this employee. So this is, it takes it to another level of engagement. Okay, and then, so that would be, I believe, yeah, Chandan, would you like to take the group through Jenny AI? Or we have actually, Suba, we have 15 minutes, so we can actually move on to questions if anyone, I think the chat's been quite active. We're happy to open up for questions at this stage.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Thank you very much. The predictive chart that you have shown is absolutely brilliant. I believe those things came up with respect to the incidents or whatever had been reported by the organization, right?
Excuse me, sorry, Suba?
Not
Sorry,
Suba, this is
Mr.
Bala.
Bala.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the point is that
Bala.
the predictive chart that you have shown, that including the Pareto chart,
Yes.
that is the result of what the company has reported so far, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this is a demo page, but yes, this would be as a result of what, whatever company would have reported, and they have this this AI enabled.
Yeah.
So Lara, I'm just sharing my screen as well. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
So you're absolutely right, sir. Basically, this is the Pareto chart, the risk chart that you saw. It is an outcome of processing the organization's data. So in this case, if you see, this is an online platform, and what it really tells here is there are close to 1,000 records that we have processed using this AI engine, and these 1,000 records are combination of unsafe facts, unsafe conditions, injury illness cases, as well as the non-injury cases that have been reported in a digital system. All of them are coming through a feed into this platform, and this is where the AI engine is using natural language processing and trying to understand the intent of what has been reported, and also trying to understand if there is an underlying risk potential that has gone unnoticed. And based on that, it has indicated that 18% of these records are still qualifying to be called potentially significant occurrences, even though they are initially reported as perhaps first aid case or medical treatment cases, but they still had the potential of converting into a potentially serious incident as well. And then there is an additional 13% which has been identified as a risk precursor. And a combination of this coming from, like I said, the observations, the injury and illness, as well as the events, is then feeding into the overall dashboards and charts that Lara spoke to, which is where we can look at some of these live dashboards, and using a predefined weighted average algorithm, we can probably look at what are those areas and categories where we are seeing higher number of incidents or higher number of precursors or PSIs. And that is where we can look at, taking some measures in terms of identifying control measures, as well as reallocate our resources in terms of proactively addressing some of these issues that we have at hand. So that's how the risk AI advisor functions, if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's absolutely That's right. Excellent. That's right. In fact, the way the model is been working in various your clients, I believe to generate such predictive analysis, it requires a strong organization culture to report first. That I can see
Absolutely.
that. So professionals in the group in the webinar, if you have any questions, please do put your chat box, or you can raise your hand and you can introduce yourself to ask question to the speakers.
So there's a question here in the chat box. If there is
Yeah.
legacy data from an existing system, would that be portable to the new tool? And will the AI be able to help fill in any gaps?
Right. So Lara, perhaps I can quickly take that.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So yes, to answer your question, there is a legacy data, and so far we have been using the data that is publicly available through OSHA, through HSC, and the other sources available globally. We have a record of close to 100,000 fatalities and serious injuries that has happened, and that is something that we use as the data to train our AI. This database is growing, I would say, with time, and we have also curated something called Data Ocean, which is a combination of data coming from different industries as well, who has been anonymously donating their descriptions as well. So this is the base data that we use to train the AI engine and really identify that potential using the natural language processing. The other part of your question where you have asked whether it can help fill in the gaps, and that's what one of the piece that Lara demonstrated today, wherein if let's say in your description you have mentioned that there was a fall incident or a worker sustained a fall injury, the AI can immediately prompt the person that your description talks about perhaps a fall incident, but I do not see any mention of the distance or the height of this fall, right? Which is where you will immediately get that prompt. So this is how people can also be nudged in the right direction to provide some more information as well.
Great, great. And also another query is companies' own data can also be ported in and improved.
Yes, practically that can be done, but I would say one of the challenge that we have seen is, these AI engines, they really require a large set of data for the AI engine to be trained. And typically you will not see a single company's data will provide you that kind of, breadth. So it can definitely there is definitely a feedback loop that is available in all the AI engines. And if let's say you see a particular result which is not really aligned with how you perceive an incident, then you can definitely provide the feedback to the AI. And the AI can take that feedback into the consideration for the future results as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Chandan. My dear professionals, if you have any questions. This is a great topic. Rather, I can say that this.
Sorry, I think Mr. Ashok has
Yeah.
his hand up.
ASSP Ashok sir, please.
I think perhaps he's not able to unmute himself.
I
Probably
think
the post.
let me see it.
Yeah.
One second. Just a second. Very Ashok. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chandran. I was unable to unmute myself. Yeah, I know I wanted to ask a question, but before that, ASSP PK asked the same question. In continuation of your answer, I just want to know whether you have undertaken any of big companies' existing data, and used your AI engine and helped them. Is there any such case study?
Oh, as a matter of fact, we have done that, Mr. Ashok. And without really naming the name, a couple of weeks back, we have completed one of such analysis project wherein we processed the data for last 10 years. And this is a conglomerate. It's a multinational conglomerate with around 200 plus facilities across the globe.
Very
And
good.
we have kind of processed that data, and we were able to kind of identify some trends in terms of risk categories, what we are seeing. We were able to kind of also identify some potential incidents, PSIs, as well as the precursor as well, right? And I think one of the key advantage that you really see when you have close to, let's say, 100,000 or 200,000 records, it is humanly impossible for you to comb through each and every record. And that is where the AI engines come into play, and it can help you identify and zero down onto your critical 1% or critical 2% data points, which really has the potential of converting into a fatality. So that's something that we have seen and experienced as a part of this recent project that we've done.
That's absolutely right, Mr. Chandan. Yes, you're right.
So there's a question by Mr. Hamidullah. If we have a, so this is our material. If a demonstration for your organization, we're happy to organize that for you. Chandan, I don't believe we have any free version available for people to try.
Yeah, we don't have a free version, but we can definitely have a conversation with you and understand your requirements. We do have a model of setting up a few guest accounts, so we can probably take that discussion offline, Lara.
Sure.
Yeah, the speakers, you can show your email IDs or phone numbers on the screen. If somebody wants to connect with you, they can connect.
Yes, sure. I will share those in just a minute.
Yeah, I think Mr. Ashok has a question again. 1 second.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chandan, for clarification. Are you, expertise only in this health, safety, environment data, or any operational data also? Will you be able to support the companies using this particular AI engine? I mean, there will be a lot of operational parameters people would like to know 30 years back 20 years back data, analyze and give them inputs, something like that. You can help us?
Our current focus, Mr. Ashok, is, of course, environment, health, and safety. And while we are looking at the operational data, but it is purely from the health and safety lens that we have applied so far. I think we are working with some of the companies who also want to look at this data from an environmental lens as well as sustainability lens also, which is something that we are again working on. But the idea here is that the model, this basically, I would say, acts as a foundation. And if you want to work, you want us to work with you and perhaps create a specific AI engine, AI model, then we can work with you as a digital transformation partner as well.
Perfect. I'm just leaving my email ID in the chat box. So I would like to request you to share your capabilities officially so that we can, our company can approach you, whatever support or whatever, capabilities, you can leave it to them. And of course, it's all commercial, but our intention is to show them that there is some resource available, whether you can use something like that, So.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Absolutely good. Thank you, Ashok Saab. And Mr. Reddy has some questions. Please go ahead, sir. Mr. Reddy, would like to speak something? Okay.
Sorry, in the meantime, there is also a question on if we are working on ESG data management and reporting. We absolutely are. We have our application called Disclosure Director, and which is directly for ESG data management and reporting. And we also have the sustainability reporting tool, which is also used by the sustainability team. They usually look at both sustainability reporting and Disclosure Director, as the parameters are sometimes, they're similar in terms of on sustainability reporting, you're able to track your sustainability performance, and then the ESG allows you to specifically manage your parameters that are material to your organization from a reporting standpoint. If you need to report out to, to a regulatory agency, to investors, or to your leadership team.
Yeah. Srikant, can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. Good evening to you all. And it was a wonderful presentation from you and your colleagues. My question is, will this help further in investigation of these incidents further? And my second question is whether, since that large amount of data is available, the similar companies are available across the globe. So can it prompt the incidents, such similar incidents happened, and what are their measures taken proactively to control that in future? Or it gives only the data from the company which you have taken, the data has been taken from your that particular company. So is this data can be gathered from other companies and gives back the reports or some kind of advisors based on the other companies also? That's my second question.
Sorry, can I ask you to just ask your first question again?
Yeah, the first question is, can it help this further investigation of this incident? For example, we have seen how you have entered the data and how we have seen the chart describes what kind of incidents are occurring and where it can go wrong, all these things. But what about the investigation? Whether it can help in supporting the investigation?
So
Yes.
it can, I mean, the tool itself has multiple ways in supporting the investigation because it enables you to identify your investigation team. It allows you to, set the dates for when you want this investigation to be closed. It also allows you to identify the actions that need to be taken out as a result of the investigation, which links up to the action tracking system, which is a sister application that we have. So from that aspect, the investigation can be supported. So really, the purpose of these, it's the keeping the accountability, the auditability, and the traceability of your data. The AI is more to help you with understanding, sifting or understanding your incidents, understanding through the volume of data that you'll have as an organization with, say, concern reports, with incidents that are coming in. It helps you build your story. It sifts through all of that data to pull out what are the key factors, what are the key contributing factors to that incident. So what were the precursors? So from an AI perspective, yes, it will help with the investigation because it'll get you to start asking the right questions of, the 5 whys. Like, why were the fire extinguishers missing? When was the last inspection done? Who is the responsible person? So it enables supporting the investigation in a number of different ways.
Thank you.
That's a great question, Rediji. Thank you very much for that. I think we have 2 comments from two. Last, we can take it. Mr. Vasudevan, who is our regional vice president, currently attending this session from Seattle, America. He said one comment here. Many companies like KNPC has a well-established ESG reporting system. Can this company support an existing application with your AI?
Chandan, I'll give you
Yes.
this question. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, definitely, Mr. Vasudevan, we do have an overarching application. We call it Disclosure Director, which is where we can look at integrating with your existing ESG data management systems. For example, let's say, when you're reporting environmental data, you may have multiple systems in your organization, which is used for capturing your fuel data, water, waste, energy emission related data as well, right? But when you are reporting on, I would say, certain disclosures, from India perspective, we have something called BRSR, which we use. Whether you're reporting on BRSR or whether you're reporting on ESRS, from Europe perspective, or GRI, SASP, CDP, or any other framework, voluntary or non-voluntary framework, we have tools available where we can, number one, provide you a workflow to map the data, your existing operational data, your quantitative data, to be associated with those disclosure requirements and help you write a qualitative disclosure, your impact story or the narrative behind the data. And that is where we can also leverage AI in analyzing your disclosure response with the guideline that has been set by the standard, right? And then help you identify some of the gaps there. So that's how we are leveraging the AI with some of the companies who already have an existing system for data management.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate Mr. Vasudevan for attending all the way from Seattle. This shows your commitment. One last question. So we have a good friend, Dr. Anant Sotake, the Director of National Fire Service College. He is asking that how can we map our existing near-miss data with your AI engine?
Yeah, so I was just trying to respond to that. So basically, like we discussed previously, we do have a capability of processing the historical data as well. So this can be done both ways. We can do an online integration wherein on a real-time basis, whenever there is a near miss is reported, it can go to a data warehouse, and that's where we can run the AI analysis. Or we can also look at doing a one-time project. If let's say you have historical data of 100,000 near misses, or maybe a combination of near miss and unsafe hacking condition, that's where we can run the AI engine and help you identify the high potential near misses or concerns from that data as well.
Thank you, Chandan. I think Mr. Vasudevan is asking, can you get some details? Definitely, I think you can be in touch, Mr. Vasudevan. I think I have his email ID as well, all the three speakers. And thank you, Mr. Dr. Anant, for asking this question. And also, we do have a blessing today. We have an octogenarian is attending this session all the way from Arizona, United States. Whenever he attends, such a passion and a positive vibes, and it's a blessing to have from him to attend such sessions. Thank you, Jitu Saab, for all your time and for patiently listening to these three wonderful speakers clarifying the new technology that's been getting into the EHS. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Subbarao wanted to ask one question. Our Deputy RVP, 1 second. Let me unmute. Where is Subbarao? Yes, unmute, and ask to unmute. Yes, I did it.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Srikanth. Lara and team, recently, a couple of weeks ago, we started a task force in EDNOC where we would like to work on modernizing the contract agency management. One of the elements which have taken up is the AI, okay, and digital technologies. If you can some sort of a backup to present to my management here, like how other companies have got systems in place and what sort of systems you can, maybe products you can offer. I'll talk to you tomorrow, maybe Lara, if you're in Dubai. We can discuss it and try to find if you get a chance to present to EDNOC also.
Yes, absolutely. Please call me anytime.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Thank you, Deputy RVP, for asking such a great question on contractor HSE management. Absolutely good. And I think we are set for the questions. If no other questions, I will go ahead by giving a vote of thanks to the speakers. So on behalf of Region 9, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all these wonderful speakers from Benchmark Gensuit for their valuable time and sharing the professional insights about integrating artificial intelligence into the EHS and ESG reporting system and management system. And thank you very much to all of them for patiently clarifying the questions raised by the audience. from different parts of the world. And a special thanks to ASSP Kuwait chapter for coming forward to share the platform, and also a special thanks to Mr. Ramana for taking his time out to help me in making this. And also a ton of thanks to each one of the professionals who have attended the session from different parts of the world. Thank you. Thank you once again to the Benchmark Gensuit and the professionals and ASSP Kuwait chapter in Region 9. Good evening.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.